Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Rebecca Spink from xCite, to present to us on being recognized and remembered. If you want to have a powerful marketing game, you should consider the following. It's not digital or print, it's digital and print. Your branding is far more powerful if you can engage client senses. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Rebecca Spink.
Thanks for having me today. This is it's very outside my comfort zone, but I'm learning to say it challenges. And whilst I was asked to talk on marketing, what I'm not is I'm not an expert, but I have learned in business, being in business for 15 years, that we can all learn from each other and share our experiences, and I think we can all gain from that. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. So a couple of years ago, my husband and I, our businesses continued to grow and develop, but we weren't actively out chasing sales as such, or really marketing our business and getting new business in the door. So I sat with Marty, and I look after this side of the business, so it sort of falls on my shoulders. So I said to him, we really need to change things up. If we lost one of our big clients who support us and have supported us for years, I really feel like the business would really suffer. So it's time to take action. And by doing that, I think we needed to improve our marketing and how we're going out and being seen in front of people. So one of the ways that we needed to go out and meet new people, I needed to get in front of new people. And as I said, it is outside my comfort zone. But I decided when I turned 40, I needed to take that step. I expect my kids to do it, so I need to do it as a person myself. So I joined a networking group. I'm still in that networking group, and I've joined others as well. Obviously, VX is the only other one. And meeting people and forming relationships is key for your business. Another point is being seen. And there's simple things where you can be seen in business. We actually need about 6 touch points in business. So people need to recognise us as different things. So whether it be signage, whether it be vehicle signage, it's quite interesting how many people spot my car on the road. I now have my 17-year-old daughter drive my little car that's full of signage, and it's the awesome tracker if you want to track your 17-year-old. I get pictures constantly of where she's parked, where she's located, what beach she's at. Oh, I just saw Kalani up at Broad Beach. So being recognised on the road, it is, the figures do say, it's about 30,000 eyes that see you on the road daily if you're driving around. So you become familiar in the eyes of people on the road, and that's what you want. When I say it's not digital or print, it's digital and print. The digital market is awesome. I'm on social media, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, but that's not enough these days because there's a lot of digital noise. People are out there, I don't know about you, but when something pops up in front of me, I go, oh, that's a great idea, and then next minute I'm so busy and it's gone that I can't remember it. If you can leave something with somebody that they can touch, pick up, refer back to, that's an awesome and powerful way to play. It's another touch point for your business to make you memorable. For us, LinkedIn was a powerful way to play too, and I consider you guys work out who is your ideal client or who is your niche market. And on LinkedIn, if you have a business that deals with businesses or professional people, we have gained a lot of business through there because you can connect with people via LinkedIn who are your people. So for me, on LinkedIn, I connect with tourism and event operators. So I specifically post and talk the language that those people have for their business and market specific to that industry only on LinkedIn. Our other profile, which is my husband's, is healthcare. So we go out to Allied Health and I chase practice managers, marketing managers of dental companies, orthodontists, all those sorts of things. So I really encourage you, if that's where your business is and you're dealing business to business or with professional people, to get online and get on LinkedIn, set up a profile, and go about trying to find the right people to have conversations with as well. It's like networking, but it's on steroids, and you can find people who are got the right job title or specific to your industry. I think one of the most important things I like with marketing early is that progress is better than perfection. Sometimes I know I've been really paralysed by having it look the best, or look the right way, or is it right, is the wording correct, or am I talking to the right person? And what I've learned is if you don't do anything, you're not going to get any results back. So to get started, put it out there, test it, come back, see what the results are, and go from there. But if you never put it out there, then you're never going to get anything back in return. The other thing is consistency. So for us, it's about setting up a schedule, making sure you hit that every day, or your targets, or what you set out to achieve, and being consistent with that. As I've mentioned lots in here, it's really important as a business to put your best foot forward. A first impression is a lasting impression. We only have about 7 seconds to make a first impression. If you're handing something out to someone that isn't professional or doesn't represent your business proudly, how much damage do you think that's doing to your branding? Impact. And a negative impact is really hard to change. I think I'm through just about everything I had to say. I know it's not 10 minutes, and I really wanted to just touch point. I didn't want to write down a speech in full because I wanted to try and communicate with you and test myself as well. So, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to?
Yes.
Sure, Heather.
I listen to the ABC radio. That's the only when I'm driving. That's it. They had an interesting discussion earlier in this week about business cards.
Mm-hmm.
The announcer on the ABC doesn't have a business card.
Yeah.
She's worked with him for 7 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
No business card. Hasn't got anything to give.
Yeah.
Other people that she had on is questioning were probably more of my era, where to me a business card is that, and I've got a couple of different things that I do, and one in particular, when anyone ever sees my business card and feels it because it's in Boston, that they really make a comment. And like the Japanese market, it's quite a thing, you know, you with both hands and you bow and all of that sort of thing. So I get from your talk that you see the importance of business cards. I do too, but there are so many apps out there. So what's your thoughts on, you know, business cards?
I think it's like digital or print or digital and print. I think you need to cover both bases, because it's like people are adding QR codes to their business cards. Really good idea, because the information can be stored straight into contacts and everything like that. So that's using it wisely, both digital and print. I think you're missing an opportunity if you don't leave something in somebody's hands, because if you don't have a card and they can't remember your name, they've got to go and search and make a lot of effort. Where if you leave something behind, they've not only heard you've been able to touch something, so you've engaged another sense. So your percentage of being remembered increases.
Yeah, it's interesting like with social media, right? In the last 2 weeks, I'm an ex-real estate agent, but I've had phone calls from people that have seen my profile on Google or something, and they've rung me, and I've been able to sort of pass them on to other people and that. So it's interesting how social media works, and these sort of like business cards. The only thing is that my present business card that I have here is for Rapid Solutions. It's got an old photo on it.
Yeah.
So, and I've still got quite a few of those to do, but I think it's probably wise for me to turf them and get some new ones with them.
I think it's a familiarity thing. Like, it's like the touch points. So you really need to have like, I think it's about 6 touch points at the moment. So it's like website, vehicle on the road, signage, brochure, business card. You know, the more familiar or the more opportunity you give someone to see your branding, the more familiar they feel with it, the more likely they are to come and use you because they feel like they know you. People use you because they know, like, and trust you. And if you can build that subconscious familiarity, then you're halfway there.
I've done a bit of a 180 on my thought process because I tried the digital virtual business card way until I came back to the X type of environment. I'm like, oh, you need business cards, you know. But when you've got businesses, and I'm sure you come across this, where they do multiple businesses, what's your advice to them, or what's the norm? I'm curious. Are people having double-sided business cards where they've got two businesses on each side, or are they just doing a different business card, like perhaps getting 3 different business cards from you? And then what's the etiquette around that with this transformation of into digital and trying to, you know?
For me, I would say it would depend on who you're talking to, your client. Like who's your client? Is that client for both businesses the same client and the same like are they in the same industries? Because it's really important that your branding and who your client is, that it talks to them. So if it's a different clientele base or a different niche market, then I would probably suggest you do 2 cards. But if you're talking to the same people and you can intertwine it, then maybe on the same card. But it would have to be a design that is cohesive and works together. Because sometimes if they're too opposite, it's like, oh, what is this person doing? And they're confused. You know, like, so that would depend on what you're doing.
Nick, I have a question. Going back to what Heather said, and when you said about people remembering, you meet them at an event and then they've got a card, how important does it become then to have your face on that card for recognition and connection? Or is it enough? Like we have a logo type thing, so...
Yeah. It is nice. So I actually don't have my face on my card at the moment. I don't recently had corporate photos done in the last sort of 6 months. And I think it's really helped. And I probably will add it to my card. I've added it to my signature. We're starting to pull it out in a lot of our posting that we're doing. I've got people that come and go, they feel like they know me already because they've seen me. So I think it is an advantage and a powerful way to play because, like they come into the office and I feel familiar, but I've never met them ever. Yeah. So, but once again, it comes down to it, how you hold your photos, it's how you do it.
I was surprised because I went to the virtual business card way. And I just was so surprised. Every age group, not just like older generation, I think, struggled with the concept. They had to text a keyword, dinner, to a number, and they struggled with that to get the card to go to them. Now, if they did it, my business card stays on their phone. It's a great idea. But I think there's still that disconnect on what they expect.
Donors.
I know. I would say text and then the number they think is my phone number. Yeah. And so they're trying to call me and they're reaching that service.
Like they still like to touch them.
Yeah, so there's
a connection there with people who like to touch them.
I thought it'd be a way to go, but I've now found actually it's better to have that business card that you find later on down, find it, oh, that's right, that person,
Yeah.
But I also find it's really good if you have a good quality card. Something that's nice and firm, it feels different, and I've used the Vista ones too, but they just lack that.
And you can pick them up because of the size.
Exactly.
I pick up a card and say, Vista print. This one's too light. It's
And what does that say to you though, James, about
it means,
their business?
for me it means one of 2 things. One, they're just starting out and they really needed a cheap startup card, and I don't have a problem with that, particularly if it's a brand new startup. But if it's an established business, I have a bit of a problem that they're not taking the effort to try and make it give the impression of something. There's a lot to be said for, as you said, for the first 7 seconds. And when you pick up a card, and I've got the 3 I've got here, is I know one of them doesn't have any business cards, but there are 3 different cards in thickness and what they look like. You don't take it as an insult.
No,
But then
I don't have
they're completely different in the cards, and the feeling you get is, oh, I probably trust the person with a heavier card with more graphics in it, which just happens to be you. No, yeah, but mine are also quite heavy deliberately for that same reason.
Even for a startup business, it's not a big investment. So I think for a startup business, if you're inexperienced and that's what your business card is saying about you, what's it saying to your client is about you? You know, like you can be inexperienced in business, but you can be experienced in what you're doing.
Yeah.
See, there was a lady that was at Wednesday night. She was new, she's a startup. She madly rushed and got some business cards done. Now, they were very hard to read because it was a black background. She didn't have a name on there and she didn't have a mobile on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she wasted her money.
Well, yeah, it was just crazy, you know. So I had to write down her details because I am going to refer her to somebody, but I needed to give this person her details. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you have been engaging with me. That was a bit of fun. I appreciate